thrives when you get the operator in the hands of Satellite. This is an op-dominant map, as is Icebox, and we saw when Satellite had that rolling on Icebox, Ambrosia go on a string of round wins. They're able to close out the game from there. So Burger Boys can repeat history from their last time they played on Ascent, get off to a good start, keep a lid on the Ambrosia economy. They can find success on this attack side again.
Satellite might quickly start to make his way over towards tiles here with this tree presence for the defenders. Of course, it's going to be a B hit to start things off for Burger Boys. The all-important pistol round hangs in the balance. They've already made their way down Speedway here. Bonnie and Acreon getting involved. Nana's diving on him, though. Sight under control here for Burger Boys, and they're looking very, very good to convert this, Wyatt.
Yeah, looking like the exact start that they needed. Glyph able to claim one onto Retro. Is on such low HP, though, going to get pincered, somehow still alive. What the hell? How is he not dead? Shondex has come in a little bit late, but saves him.
Nana's now being Shondex. It could have been huge. And yeah, a cry of exultation there for Nanas, as you would expect. All important attack side pistol round secured for Burger Boys with their double duelist comp. Everything going to plan.
Third time now since the second half of Icebox that we've seen Nanners close out a clutch. This guy has been, I think, the most important Burger Boys player so far in this series. He is, what we were saying, very nonchalant. He's very nonchalant in those situations, Mitch. He's very chill. He does not lose his cool. Okay, well, that was not nonchalant. Never mind. He decided to be chalant. He decided to go crazy. That was the first time I've ever seen him go crazy. But hey, very important pistol round win, and we'll take it.
Bro has range. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, control it for Burger Boys.
Yeah. Get you a man who can do both.
Zero presence here for the defenders. They're all very much concentrated around mid part of the map that Burger Boys have got zero interest in playing for. So now retake all the defenders or perish to the spike. Dealer's choice at this stage.
Don't think we'll be seeing much of a retake. Maybe they kill one guy kind of situation, but even that might be hard pressed, honestly. They have to break the door, and everyone on Burger Boys actually bought up as well. No one lacking in weaponry.
That risky.
Okay.
Second round buy. Actually, I was just convinced there was someone there. Turns out it was right. There's Acreon and Satellite here. Spread across the map looking for some exits. Marshall doesn't always play nice. Obviously has to be a headshot in a round like this, so Burger Boys walk away. 4 of those purchased weapons maintain, and Acreon says, well, I guess I'll just sacrifice his last 6 points of health to get some money.
Nalva did get perhaps a little bit silly running around with the Marshall there, but it is just a Marshall. All good. Has enough cash to fully buy up here, or just half buy, get into a Guardian, regen armor. So Burger Boys can just play out a pure bonus, have the full buy for the next.
Right, this is the start we were looking for. Burger Boys, of course, with that bigger buy in round 2. Still sitting on a couple of Guardians, couple of Spectres. Well, he's instantly gone for the Odin. Really good with that, especially able to play off not only like his own recon, but the Cypher trips on that B side of the map.
That little duo of Welly and Shondex locked down that B site against YFP yesterday. Was really influential on the outcome of that game. Their ability to anchor so well as a duo. I like the setup from Ambrosia on A. You know, they have the double trips towards tree, and if the hit comes in through there, they can fight into A main, try to isolate one player. But no, they actually just swing back into the group.
Retro went really low in that exchange. Caught inside a grab net, but he now basically locked down here for Burger Boys. This little bonus round is panning out really nicely, and they've been able to take a Spectre and upgrade it to a Phantom here. Welly, great shocky. Trying to get him from that heaven side of the map was Nanas that got pinged. Satellite might try and spam. Remember, Welly is dangerous, but Jen should be enough to block those Odin shots. It was Odin down. Now, 2 guns in the game here for Burger Boys. Satellite is able to get his aim under control quickly enough, and there was never a plant. So Bonnie's down that 1v3.
I got the spike.
Wants to push forward. Make it a 1 versus 2 fight. Someone gets the kill on Satellite. Instant swing from Shondex to clean it up. Ambrosia win that out, drag things back by virtue of winning a couple 1v1s. Maybe we'll get to see what happened with Shondex in mid, but he picked off the lurk while he was ramping back into A to help for the retake. Satellite takes a risky, pure 1v1 at door, but thankfully for Ambrosia, wins it out.
This goes here.
I think their setup in A main was great, but I expected them to isolate the A main fight, not swing into the pack. And they just got overwhelmed. I mean, luckily the players have enough skill to rally that back by winning duels.
Back we go. 3 now being, again, covered in much of that deadlock util. But Ascent util spread across the map here. There's Satellite with that level of mid control. No op needed here, just a gate crash out after finding Bonnie of all people. And I mean, it is depletingly obvious, but Burger Boys really need their duelist to come alive in this game.
He had a tough time, to say the least, when it came to first kills and first deaths on Icebox, going for 1 first kill and 8 first deaths. That is very un-Bonnie-like.
Up mid, Alvin gets Satellite just not on the line there, despite throwing a clone down. Alvin, the cross in the corner! He's got the timing! Now, it might be on for Burger Boys. Getting through market still, there is actually a trap wire set up there. So, converting out of this mid control, a little bit trickier in a round like this against the double Sentinel composition. The Burger Boys have got 34 seconds to make it happen. 3 might be the best approach here.
And if they want to accelerate, they're probably going to get stunned up. Unless they break them quick enough. Akron getting backside, doubled up with the Glyph. They want to anchor this hard. GravNet connects onto 1, delays for a bit. 20 seconds to get in, get the kills, get the plan.
Retro with the peek around the corner. That first Sonic Sensor got triggered by the clone. So good at drawing out that util. And Alva was waiting in mid the whole time. Gets active to catch the rotates, man. A centimeter perfect stuff there from Burger Boys. That 1 kill on Satellite opened up a world of possibilities.
His posture there for an additional 30 seconds to get both rotators had no business getting that little jiggle peek headshot onto Shondex. Ambrosia on the eco already. This timing was brutal for Satellite. I mean, not even really a timing. You just heard him crossing. He just goes for the swing. Here's the jump up. Catches out Satellite totally unaware.
Honestly, there were 2 craft set up in tree there by Ambrosia, but no one was really there to play off them. The first one got triggered anyway by a clone. Maybe they peeked that, realized that, and then get back off the line. But that investment in util for the defenders there doesn't pay off at all. Nanas, oh, you're done. Oh, almost gets out of that. Okay, GravNet even committed. Dodged, I think, but Nanas wasn't able to escape. And look at these sheriffs starting to go to work here.
That's a cool play. Let's try and get a kill on someone isolated, watching the extremity. And now Burger Boys, they want to go for this B split.
Bonnie now inside market is getting a little bit dicey. Not another Sheriff Thrifty from Ambrosia, surely. Look about Bonnie. Guy center stage now. Needs to show out. Well, it's a great light though. God, his Slovic util's been very, very good, highlighted by our experts at the start of the show over these last 2 days. And this is it. This is petered out. Bonnie has to go absolutely hog wild here. And all this util's going to snarl him up. That is mental. Thrifty here for Ambrosia. 3 players still up at the end of the round. Ridiculous.
I love how well he plays that at the end. Just being a nuisance backside, forcing Burger Boys to try to have to clear him. And as they're going for him, as he's just dancing around, the rest of his team are able to come in. He got that nice recon off as well. But it begins with this cool play, which is intended on isolating a solo player that's controlling that A extremity. Works perfectly, just a simple paranoia into the GravNet.
These costly rounds here for Burger Boys have sent them very quickly down to a half bite. Fast hit towards the B side seems to be the play. That trap wire over towards market means there's 1 less to sort of stop a fast flood through B mains, what we're about to see here. Shondex, though, will be ready. Play off the 1-way. You challenge that. Yes, they've got a cloudburst at least to get past it. Trap wire, though, does get triggered. They try and get in the market, get revealed as a result. Welly with the spray down. Control this space with the Odin. So far, not so bad, though, for Burger Boys, but running into this line is tough. At least they can double swing it. Get the Odin player out of the game. It's Retro yet again. So is Euro on this map yesterday. Wasn't what he was looking for performance-wise, but he's able to get out of that B site entirely.
This is a bold move, going for the 1 versus 2 right now. only has a stinger to play with. Is he just gonna? Oh no! Oh god! He wants to close the door. Oh, this is tough. The door's gonna get broken. He can't even cross. Just goes for the flash, but it's immediately dodged.
30 seconds.
The gate crash positioning doesn't really favor him either. He's spotted out by the flash. They know exactly where he ended up. 23 seconds. Flag it. Okay. Okay.
My
Not
god.
bad. Not bad.
A valiant effort, but unfortunately that just results in a dimensional drift being thrown out the window on an eco round. I mean, Retro won't feel too upset about that, given that they have other ults to play with, but still, you'd love to be able to have that to use in sync with your Hunter's Fury on your buy round when you're executing into a site. I can't blame him for trying to win this out, though. It was a good attempt. And a lot of damage done to Ambrosia to at least keep their economy very honest. I mean, more than honest, it's in critical condition if they lose this round. They've invested into the AWP and the Odin yet again.
They'll be able to get a 3 rifle play by those things, maybe 2.5. He does put a lot of emphasis on this round. On this B site. Reminded me of Brock last season, honestly. Huge stuff and great opener. Now, of course, notices the trap wide that's set up for him to play off of specifically. Hunter's Fury, that could be a problem. Well, he needs to get moving here. Caught out. Nanas sprays him down. There's more value to be gotten there, in theory, from Practo. And now the numbers are even. Nothing really picked up over the A side of the map here. And Glyph TP's into B to help. Info for Nanas there, in theory. He ends up in boathouses and is able to deal with Shondex. What a weird round, man. Glyph is on the wrong side of the map entirely. And those money woes that Ambrosia, we talked about them having, they're an issue for them here.
That was bizarre. Things got so chaotic towards that spawn side. I'm not sure if that was Shondex's cage or Alvin's that had Welly in that weird position where he was getting Hunter's Fury, but he couldn't actually cross because the angle was exposed, and Nana was able to just catch him. And then Acreon just goes with the jump peek with the grav net, but gets caught out as well. One by one, players dropping in some ill-advised fashion. Burger Boys thriving in a very, very messy situation. They take full advantage of the ults that they had remaining. I mean, they expend all 3 of the ults that they did actually have there.
Odd round. This now puts both teams in equally sort of shaky positions. You can see here it will be like a 2 rifle round, if you can call it that. A couple of shots probably getting mixed in here. This is Welly off the rip. Then he obviously ends up rotating into CT and spotted out by a Hunter's Fury from the other side. Nice looks from Nanas. It was like an Omen TP from him somewhere. I think he tries to get a bit of info about CT. Ends up back in Boathouse. Still finds the kill while under the grab net.
Well, he wants to get into this smoke with the Sheriff. Hope that someone overextends into it, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Also timing a shock dart of someone walking up post grabbing that orb in main. But it's a Burger Boys that are content to take things slow, wait out any potential defensive aggression from Ambrosia on this save round that does involve that rifle that's been carried over by Glyph.
Plenty of time here for Burger Boys. Not committed by any stretch of the imagination. See if it ends up being the Yoru that doubles back for the spike here. I think at this point, Bonnie realizes that mid is a pretty comfortable spot. There's zero B presence outside of the camera. A big gamble here for Burger Boys. Big time, of course. Hoping to get max value out of this Guardian Phantom combination.
30 seconds left.
For whatever reason, it looks like Alvin's not really been able to figure out that everybody is off their B side entirely. So we're hitting a stacked site here. Satellite at the ready. Deals with Bonnies. He gets up on top of Jen. Annihilation in play, catches Retro. All of a sudden, Ambrosia with this awkward buy. Great value off that Deadlock ultimate. And there's no time left for Burger Boys. They dither, they dally, they goof off. And they'll try and at least keep the rifles in, but that's not how you build momentum on the attack side of Ascent, folks.
That's only with 20 seconds that they're trying to get into that A site. running right into Acreon's Annihilation. I mean, Satellite almost ripped both guns out of their hands there at the end, but it's just a full gamble from Ambrosia, sensing that A hit was going to come in after there had been a noise made in main, after that orb had been collected early, and there was just no exploration for Burger Boys elsewhere on the map.
This is the risk. This is the double sentinel comp for you. Plenty of that util set up there. And eventually Burger Boys end up walking into it, and they don't really explore that deep in the mid in the end. Also on the B side, Alvin's like, oh, I guess we're going A, I'll just leave. Now that defensive op is in play once more. Satellite puts in a great use. Oh, buddy! Jackpot! Alvin all on his lonesome. Shonex will surely take this fight and maybe regrets it now. The Cypher pulls on out, just as Satellite was looking to ask for more on the B side. Spike's location, obviously a huge issue. Alvin has a lot of work to do to build into this round, and yeah, there's a barrier set up anyway, preventing recovery of the Spike. Satellite for 4.
Gets the dimensional drift off that as well for this buy round. Burger Boys are going to be fully invested. Again, this is Ambrosia's comp with the op, with the Odin. All of the tools that they want with this double sentinel look to completely dominate the map control game.
Right.
Taking back the lead. They were in a really tough position. Bear in mind, this, should on all accounts, if Burger Boys won that anti-eco, we would have been in a 5-3 situation. And they would have been content with even just that heading into the side swap against the double sentinel comp.
I must wait a moment.
You're feeling good enough with that. But now Ambrosia, they've got a chance to string this together. This is a round worth 2 for them if they can convert.
I sort of want to watch Alvin on this B side of the map as he starts to play for a little bit more. Take a risk here or there. You see the barrier here is up and will be waited for to expire apparently. That's not going to leave Burger Boys a lot of time in this round. In the meantime, yeah, they screw up, try and get rid of this. Grab net will be the prescribed response though. Clone caught in it. Love that from Acreon. Doesn't go after the clone at all, but Retro's able to bring him down. No one else is there to follow up on that util. Satellite was tucked there. Up in hand. This has all gone wrong for Ambrosia. Neither of these teams really able to get much going, and giving Burger Boys a 5th attack side round for Ambrosia has got to feel absolutely awful. Once again, Alvin is in position to catch the rotating player. Looked away, I think, from him there as he approached, but we'll let it go. This is all down to Welly, who has to reveal himself now, busting open that window. A round that he knows is lost.
Has to be worried about so many different angles now. Swings out, double face from Burger Boys, who win that round off the back of some brutal missed shots from Ambrosia. Acreon feeling like he needs to swing in off the grab net that got thrown down, but it didn't actually connect onto Retro, who's able to win that duel. Even still, it looked like he was going to get that kill here. Had the initial shots. Retro didn't even have the gun out. And then Satellite with a very, very rare op whiff in this series. Loses control of A main. I mean, imagine that situation if he finds that kill onto Nanners, has A main control. All of a sudden, the execute is pinched, but anyhow, we're into the next instant dimensional drift here from Satellite into the spawn. I mean, what the hell is going on, man?
Okay, yeah, can't catch up.
He teleported behind him.
Christian spawn. That is ridiculous. Now, on the back of that, Ambrosia have taken a bit of this mid control. Maybe looking to catch someone crossing tiles. They knew the spike was back there. I don't think I've ever seen a sequence like that.
That was so ridiculous. I've never seen a play like that before. Glyph just barely catches Nanners crossing into B main. Okay, let's dim it down a little bit here. Bonnie might have heard that from Welly, who was potentially shoulder peeking over towards CT side. Funny for Retro. Bonnie is so close to this fight. Yeah, try and push. Realizes that's the Odin player, so backs off the corner. Worst place for him to be. Back over to Logs. Glyph kind of knows he's there, though. To run and retreat as he was nearsighted. Retro can get on this line that would help out and let the clone in his wake. I don't think they were ready for Retro, but either way, Ambrosia, off the back of that
Mental moment from Satellite, turning up in the attacker spawn, claim the round.
They do a great job there as well, just dealing with Bonnie at the end in that 3 versus 2. He wants to make a play, but he doesn't have the dash to get anywhere. They no, in that situation could have only gone logs. Able to deal with the retro as well. This is just ridiculous. I have never seen a player go for this in my life.
He's got no idea. In fact, there is no way you're 180ing for the Yoru there. I've seen it all. Okay.
I don't want to see anyone in my ranked games trying that, though. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all aren't pulling it off like that. Y'all are not doing it.
All right, here's Alvin. Satellite, of course, is playing for that contact. Gate crash over to A, so he can obviously get there and reinforce that side if needed. This time, emphasis on mid for Burger Boys. Very important round. Welly has the ability, though, to get tons of info. He can play off the cam as well and just spray people down with the Odin.
Oh. Some good counter spam from Bonnie. Satellite still just has this B main control. Retro, it just feels like someone is about to get caught. Oh my god, the timing. Getting off the angle, but the repeat from Satellite teleports away to lane. Can go for more.
Well, he's going to go now over towards that CT side. There's some Burger Boys that have to get moving. Bonnie backs up in the Shondex. He was waiting for it. Now we've still got utility can play off of him. B main. Great connection for Satellite. Nanas has to throw himself at this one. And Prather somehow just goes down to a shock dart. Willie looking premium on those. And this is scary now for Burger Boys. Yeah. A 5-round attack side. Happy with that for sure. Now, what do they make do? Or what do they make happen with this double duelist on the defense side? Is it going to be Bonnie, like on Icebox, looking to take a lot of these early risks to kind of justify this jet play?
You know, now, as I did at the beginning of the game, now that we're halfway through, I want to contextualize this again against the last 2 times these teams played on Ascent. It was Burger Boys starting on attack, winning the pistol as they did here. But last time, they finished the half up 8-4. So this is a significantly better result for Ambrosia. And Burger Boys were able to take the 2nd pistol in that Ascent game too. Can Ambrosia go 1 for 1 this time? Extend that lead.
Bonnie's exploring through mid. One, surely. One! Just one! A Sandra kill!
Oh no.
Would have been the looks for Bonnie. It's been a bit of an off day for him. And Retro got the message. Yeah, 3 of them coming. Okay, cool. Well, I guess I've got this wall in my way now. So he'll knife out, probably cleared that, but... Okay.
Well, run and gun.
Big one for Nanas, though. Really important to slow some of this momentum down. He knows his player's encroaching. Right-click mode activated. Retro needs able to make that a trade. Here comes Alvin. Geronimo. Player advantage now for Ambrosia, but Retro's in a good spot to play this. Man, when they needed him, he's turned up. Simple as that.
Shondex has a chance. He's got a fair amount of time to play with, so not pressured enough by the clock to actually have to break the window there. Can just rotate slowly around to heaven. Practo, eyes on that angle. Matter of fact, Retro as well from main. We'll take that first contact and just not expecting someone top gen. Practo gets into the least anticipated position for Shondex to have to deal with and gets a free kill. Credit to Manners, who has been a hero for this team so many goddamn times already, but is able to get that quick kill, just sprinting across doors, and then stays alive for enough time for the rest of the team to actually get in, flood and help, and then Retro, a beautiful 2-piece. I mean, today so far, it's really just been all about Nanners and Retro for me as far as, you know, a lot of the kills. Alvin played really well on Icebox too, actually. I don't want to discredit him by any means, but...
Oh, interesting. Early grab net there as Practo was revealed. Remember, the retakes for Burger Boys will tend to be a little difficult against the deadlock. Just the wall in CT is be really a nuisance for them. Well, the cutoff of the rotators. We've seen it thrown down mid a couple of times over towards that defense side spawn.
So Ambrosia are doing a good job, at least in this full save of harvesting the orbs. Getting them on both sides of the map, getting Satellite about halfway to that dimensional drift early on. And after achieving that goal in the round, time to gather up on B. And hey, they might rush down the best player to find. It's Prakto with just the ghost. If he doesn't connect a shot, they could get a kill here.
And Alvin's playing CT with a Stinger, so not the best situation for him either. Yeah, he gets in. He's like, okay, we're anchoring this hardcore. Getting a kill and falling off, but pretty good looks here for Burger Boys. And Ambrosia are now here. They've gotten the Marshal to hand. Akrian gets ahead of the dark cover. Prakto untradeable. Great movement here from the defenders. And just great thinking to know they have to anchor with a Stinger in hand. They don't want to sit there and spray impotently out of CT. We've got an even game now.
Well done for Prakto as well, that he's able to just get that quick shot in main and retreat, double up with Alvin back sight. Play with his teammate in trench that actually did have the Stingers. He only had that ghost. Burger Boys have most of the guns carried over into this bonus round, but it was a very light buy. They didn't try to get into any rifles. Just a hell of a lot of SMGs to play with. So at least if you're looking at the buy advantage, you're definitely making the assumption that Ambrosia should get this round win. There's only one Phantom for Prakto.
Fake TP there for Glyph.
And you can see he's drawing the spam up top. And it is common for an Omen to play up there, but...
Fairness, Retro was close enough that he would have seen the TP across to the cubby, so they can rule that out at least. That's some information, though.
Satellite is still harvesting those orbs, by the way. Now just 2 away from the dimensional drift. They've been putting a lot of emphasis on getting him to that ult.
1 minute now. The gate crash will allow a crossover for Retro if needed over at A. That part of the map has just not been tested whatsoever.
Now, positionally, this is pretty good right now for Burger Boys, actually. You know, with Retro pushed up into Wine. Wow, cross-map recon actually just clears onto him. I wonder if that's going to get Burger Boys to put any attention towards A, but it's just not.
Revealing area.
I mean, this is going to allow Prakto to see it all. Yeah, that's everybody pinged out. 5 players hitting it. Bonnie now can't do too much. Can still take shots from behind that wall, but Marshall, yeah, he's speculative about it, and Satellite's able to spray him down. Here come Ambrosia again. Prakto, though, finds one through the cyber case. Nana steps in, immediately sat down. Ambrosia, got to be happy with this now. They're dealing with this bonus out from Burger Boys. 4 guns heading into the next. Great result for this attack side team, and eventually they settle on B after being 5 players lit by that recon.
You can just see how frustrating it is to try to play around that barrier mesh when it's thrown down into market and you're getting hit with the dark cover as well. It's definitely bold for Bonnie to try and get some spam kills through with the Marshal, but hey, on the bonus round, you got a bad weapon in that situation, I suppose. Why not try to make something happen? But is ultimately punished for it, and then there was some good additional util back sight for Ambrosia to scale in that Yoru flash that connects on to Alvin. Now we're on the crucial round, the most important one for Burger Boys on this defensive side of Ascent, fully invested after their bonus. This is must win for them.
Cover going out.
Look at that. Gate crash there on the other side of mid. Satellite trying to get there and help them from tree. This might keep eyes off main. Burger Boys now feeling the pressure, and as they should. Dimensional drift gets Satellite in and onto the site, and Paranoia hits onto the Omen. Retro ends up shooting it clone. This is ugly. This is bad news for Burger Boys unless they can get it stuck down. Retro found one at least with the Guardian. Low now stuck backside and just can't do anything. No help. This Prakto was miles away on Alvin, stuck inside the smoke. No plant yet. At least you've got that to hang your hat on, but there's no way to get to A from tree. This is what it's like to play against the Deadlock comp in the post plant.
They have to deal with the annihilation now as well. Alvin is going to be in trouble, actually dodges it and finds a kill.
He knows the Deadlock is down below them. Wetley's a dangerous player that they have to face in the clutch. Man, too clean with it. Guardian sings out on 2 separate occasions, 2 headshots.
God
Brilliant
damn.
stuff.
That second shot was sick. The reaction time, 1 single tap. And Welly knowing as well, I believe he timing that first duel off of the drone being used by Prakto. Maybe we'll see that in the replay. Satellite pops out backside, gets the kill onto Nanners. Retro does a decent job stabilizing for a moment. That flash, unfortunately, not connecting onto everyone. Alvin sidestepping that. Yeah, I think it was Practo in the drone, and Wellies says, all right, time for me to take this 1v1. I'm going to peek. He can't get traded.
Good looks here for Ambrosia. God, that's nerve-wracking for Burger Boys now as they've been sat down on this economy. Now a little bit more emphasis on the mid side of the map. Clone to go check it. Not sure if there's the idea that Welly would play off that. He's tucked. Even insert in case there's some sound to be heard over towards the cubby side. Dalvin having a look. Flash for it pretty instantly. The Outlaw's going to be feasting around like this, and there's not a thing the Burger Boys can do about it. Practo with the Sheriff, though. Always dangerous. Always good for one, I feel. Now they're going to know exactly where the defenders are lying.
And they know that there are multiple players rotating over to be 3 of them. And it's only Nana's to deal with on A, so they're trying to beat Burger Boys to the rotate, which they'll be able to do. Nana's going to be in a lot of trouble back. Jen does not see a damn thing, but at least has the dark cover to play around.
Nana's tucked here. Oh, I like the Ultra and timing off this. You can definitely play with that. Bonnie's able to emerge here. Stinger gets some purchase. Satellite looking. Surely he's got something to do here.
30 seconds
Practo.
left.
Well, I called it with the Sheriff.
Enemy remaining.
Looking good. We're going to be down a Retro, though. Winnable. 4 health and 21. 2 shots will get it done. Are we rolling back the years? Front legs in the chat. Watching his homie go for it. Time, though, is of the essence, of course. And Retro, yeah, that cam spots him out. He'll be allowed to pull the dart from him there and see Shondex as an angle he can't realistically cover. Tough to play from there. And here come Ambrosia, man. This is terrifying.
Shondex really comes up on that round. 3-piece plus the neural theft that allows for the rotate over to the lighter A site, where it was just Nanners forced to take on way too much responsibility with a Sheriff facing down that entire execute.
One enemy remains. Player standing.
Closed.
And now Ambrosia know that they're within touching distance of closing this game out. Burger Boys again fully invested into this round. They do have major ultimates to play with that can get them over the finish line here on round 18. Trying to get their economy in a stable
Fast
place.
They're up there. Bonnie, not sure what this is, because if there's a gate crash out by the Yoru and, you know, the clone, they could imply 3 people here where there's really only 1 at the end of the day.
Scanning ahead.
Waiting on this now as Bonnie just sails past. Checks it, sees very little. Foul drone here. Jondex has to get on out. Practo will, of course, look to play off of it. Satellite tagged up by something through mid. Yep, there's Bonnie trying to stay out of these traces. Spray it on down, but he does take a bit of a hit. Retro, the guy that was positioned to make something magical happen in the previous round now, needs to try to figure out what's going on. He knows there's pressure over towards Tree, and then immediately it gets cancelled. Through market now is the play. And so Burger Boys assume the position wire. Anchor up on this B side.
This is a great pivot from Ambrosia right now. Burger Boys are trying to rush their way over. Glyph able to shut down Bonnie, who was weak coming from spawn. Dimensional Drift going to have to get a lot of value.
30 seconds left.
Practo hit with the paranoia now stuck in here. Light, but again,
Last
info
player
is good.
standing.
Headshots are better. Nanas now is going to just see this as an opportunity to extract some value, as the rest of his team are going to be sent to the economic shadow realm in the next game. With a lower GDP than Bangladesh, Burger Boys have handed a significant lead over to Ambrosia now. About to stretch to 4 rounds on their map choice. And it feels like nothing really has gone right for them today.
They're just not rolling in that same individual way that they've been throughout the playoff run. And I don't just want to keep harping on Bonnie's performance, but when this guy was far and away the statistical leader, well, I won't say far and away, but was the statistical leader, it was actually him and Kane Zira, who were the 2 that were far and away, with Bonnie #1 heading into yesterday. Still played really well against Envy, but today he's not getting it rolling yet. And it's starting to feel like he's really trying to force moments to get kills, like 50 HP, spamming through the wall in spawn. Let's see if Nanners can hold on to this, and he does against Glyph. So we'll have an opportunity to have that hero rifle here on what will be a mostly saved round for Burger Boys. Half by what they can.
Round 19 now. Talked about some of those big ultimates Burger Boys had to work with. Well, the D-Drift went for very little. Now, at least the Blade Storm allows them to supplement their arsenal somewhat. But it has been a tough showing here for Burger Boys. Again, Ambrosia did the same thing on Icebox. Went on this run. 5 rounds, I think it was. After being in a bit of a rough spot. And the money's just so good as you'd expect for Ambrosia. These rounds are not coming close enough for Burger Boys. And they've just never gotten that snowball impact of an op in mid online. I like that for the Nanas, though. Clearing that sort of implies potentially a player tucked wine. And this is going to draw further resources out of the attackers to clear it.
All-out aggro play from Burger Boys is coming out of B main. They go 1-for-1. Bonnie with an opportunity to get the kill on Acreon. Picks up the rifle. Can't chase, but oh my god. I mean, Retro, you're not Satellite, buddy. Sorry.
I respect it.
I respect it. I respect it, though.
So odd that the game is occurring in this part of the map. Of course, this means that Burger Boys still have 3 to work with now, and they're starting to drift over in the right direction. Of course, the wall, preventing an approach to the B side kind of gives away the game. They know where Ambrosia is going to come from. A recon, though, is going to force Practo off the line. He cannot linger. Bonnie will assume that position instead. TP top side. Bonnie's having his crosshair placement broken. The glyph went down, and hello, it's a shooting gallery. Welling's able to find a couple, though. He's up to 3 in the round. Dangerous for Nanas. Welly, the GOAT. Unbelievable stuff from the young lad. How on earth do you put that together? Something's in the water there in Norway, I'm sure of it.
He has been on fire on Ascent. Shooting, the utility has been really fantastic from him throughout this game as well. He just can't be allowed to win that. Burger Boys, they make the fast rotation, even though it's a 3 versus 4. They're all over on that site. They can all face into the smoke. There are no flashes for Ambrosia to get out of it. They looked absolutely cooked, and they just give in to Welly in the 1 versus 3. Just feels like the game is as good as done. There are 5 chances for Ambrosia to close this out now. Nanner's already so weak on account of that shock dart. Welly just continuing his reign of terror.
I apologize to the Bangladeshi viewers in the chat that have been riled up. I don't know how we got there. Okay, Satellite responds, though. Thought for a moment Bonnie might have given his team a chance into the round, but he has not been allowed to really achieve any of the game plan here for this Jet on defense. And Satellite still lives. The attack side up, man. That's been handed over in Welly's direction. Let the man who can do it all do just that.
Who's next?
All right, Dimensional Drift is going to be used right now from Satellite. Of course, Welly does have the Hunter's Fury, can try to get a kill with it. Attempting to go on to Retro. Satellite's going to just pop out of that. Acreon with a second as well.
Spike down A. 30 seconds left.
All right, Albert here going to play back behind his neural theft. Oh, immediately tries to wallbang that top gen position. 23 seconds. Needs to be a plant here at some point. Glyph, of course. No ultimate to work with. Double swing works out. Welly down. That op that he was given in the end turns out to be his undoing. Surely not. Alvin exits with 4, keeping Burger Boys in the game.
Just barely. Alvin steps up in the very end. And I like that from Ambrosia. Just the classic sinking of the Hunter's Fury with the Dimensional Drift. Satellite finds a great time to get out of the ultimate, collect this kill onto Retro back sight. But off of all of that attention being drawn, Alvin just gets a moment to swing out of that dark cover, find the first. And then from there just keeps on rolling to close out the round, doubled up with his teammate. You want to use the time in this timeout to apologize yet again, Mitch?
Yeah, look, honestly, like their economy is decent, right? It's as far as Asia's concerned, it's decent. But like, I mean, God, if we're taking that seriously, like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you guys. Let's just take some deep breaths. It's crazy.
Dead. I'm dead at Sierra posting in the production chat, someone saying, I can buy Caster's whole family, no cap. Oh,
man. This is why I love challenges. Do not change, chat. Please remain exactly exactly as you are.
All right.
I really tried to pick an obscure country so there wasn't the risk of just like catching someone, but it just wasn't obscure enough. Next time, yeah. I'll do better next time, guys. I'll choose Sierra. Sierra Leone is going to be my next one. So, look, residents of Freetown, I apologize in advance. All right, still match point, or rather map point here for Ambrosia, but goodness me, heading on a split. Up 2-0 for this team would be astonishing. It's not clicking for Burger Boys right now, but Bonnie still has an op. He's able to get one somehow. Half armor and op at the ready.
Ambrosia had enough cash to get into a couple hero guns. And listen, if I were to throw 2 hero guns to any 2 players on Ambrosia, it would definitely be Shondex and Satellite. Those 2 guys are really sick, mechanically speaking. Ambrosia want to get into this A-side split. 1 player from main, that's going to be Welly.
Right here, caught. Awkward, trying to hold that angle, apparently. Not looked at, as it appears. Alvin going to get off this line. A lot of presence for Ambrosia. Love the old heaven play, and Bonnie just can't connect the first shot. The pressure is too immense. Alvin at least chimes in, but Bonnie has killed through smoke. That's not a metaphor for his whole game. I don't know what it is, but it's Nanus. Keeps them in it. He keeps them in it. Massive stuff here from Burger Boys, who really have to pivot very quickly to what Ambrosia are throwing at them. But the attackers still have another buy round to work with.
Honestly, I can't believe it even got that close, or rather that it even got to the point where Ambrosia were at a man advantage. I like the play rushing through heaven, but they didn't have a dark cover placed for, with a staircase reaches to the top, which is usually pretty necessary. They're just open fighting 17 players on Burger Boys there. I can't believe they walked away with the advantage. We arrived at the point of the game where, once again, it's the steady hands of Nanners that just keep them alive.
The nonchalant king locks it down. Honestly, we felt similarly about him yesterday on that Viper. Just from Bonnie. It's still a mid play. Glyph potentially soundbaiting for him here. Very quickly, though, Ambrosia have opted to pivot over to B. Apropos of nothing really, but maybe to try and make it so Bonnie can't get out if you're alive if he takes a fight. This is a garden variety play for B main control. Camera cleared. Logs is trap wired, though, so keep an eye on that position.
Slowly, Ambrosia, we're trying to work their way through tiles. They're going to wave right into Bonnie, but takes the shot on that clone, reveals their position. Isn't caught in the grab net, but still in so much danger. Satellite on the wide swing.
Oh, Retro finds the timing. That's beautiful, even though he's hit by Paranoia. Now, of course, needs to get busy. Annihilation does find a catch, though. Retro caught inside the cocoon. Relieved from it. No, it's someone else, in fact. Nanas knows he needs to do something about it at some point. It's cleared away. 3 up here for Ambrosia. Now towards mid, the pivot. This is where Alvin can come alive. Keeping in a boathouse, Alvin is down, so no one's there to watch the rotate. All of a sudden, Nanas will be alone. He's going to have to do it again. There's a wall in CT. It's going to stop the rotate, potentially. Well, he does fall. Nanas gets his one. God, that was a nice little TP. He gets out of boathouse, stops the defense.
That's so clean.
He's literally him. It's just Nanas.
That is so clean. The utility usage there, the aim again, using the from the shadows when there was such little time for Ambrosia on that pivot. I mean, they go to the right site. It's wide open. He gets back into sewer. There's maybe 13, 14 seconds when they're rushing down lane and stairs to try and get the plant in this moment, and then using the dark cover to safe teleport and then push into it. Oh my God, that is just so well played. This guy is phenomenal.
Absolutely electric stuff, Wyatt. There's Prakto grabbing it down. Okay, things are getting a little bit dicey here. Acron's able to bring Prakto to heal, though. Fast play with the Stingers into the B site, and it's working. By God, it's working. Retro here behind the wall.
He's caught him
is likely caught here.
He can't even retreat.
Stuck in that last little, triangular wedge. Got a decent weapon. The Shockies, though, started to cause him issues. Connex is going to be back into B main here.
Oh, he's boxed like a fish. He can't do a thing.
My box feel like a fish. Just wrong. There is some market presence, though, for the defenders. How the heck do they get into this side? They break the wall eventually. Nana's holding onto a Paranoia. That's arbitrarily thrown a speedway to set them up.
Scanning ahead.
Player in main. Well, he might see a lot here. Dart cleared. So is a dark cover about to disappear. He gets off the light. He's not ready for it. Oh, the Till. It's so hard to retake against this deadlock competition. An Acri in court 2 in a Sonic sensor. Burger Boys are in trouble, folks. A best of 5. Their map is Ascent, and it doesn't look like home to them at all.
The last time these two teams faced off on Ascent, it was a dominant win from Burger Boys.